What if it's not an Iron Man variant who's part of the Illuminati in Doctor Strange 2, but an Iron Monger variant? And I'm pretty sure it's an Iron Monger variant, which is why I'm making an entire video about it. And I have some interesting ideas about how this could play out in the MCU beyond Doctor Strange 2. So join me for this journey. Now, is that an Obadiah Stane variant played by Jeff Bridges, Tom Cruise, or someone else entirely? Unfortunately, Jeff Bridges has been battling cancer the last year or so, but thank goodness his treatment is going well, and that, of course, is the most important. But I'm 99.9% sure that Tom Cruise is coming to the MCU, but I'm not sure which movie he's in or which character he'll be playing. I do know 100% that he was not in the most recent cut of the film, but scenes can always be added which may have been withheld, because that would be quite the cameo, as we all know. So let me explain where I'm coming from. Yes, welcome to my TED Talk on the rules for Doctor Strange 2, which Marvel very clearly laid out in their What If series. So let's use them. This is really important as we try to extrapolate what's happening and understand the choices that are made in this movie. And Doctor Strange 2 clearly spins out of What If, with Captain Carter making an appearance, the same energy signature as the universe falls apart, and shards of glass when we jump from one universe to another or find ourselves trapped, right? A prime example of these rules is Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel, who comes from a universe where what if Maria Rambeau flew that fateful mission instead of Carol Danvers? I can hear Jeffrey Wright asking the question now. Maybe in season 2 of What If? I would actually really like to see that episode. Now, some of you have been insisting that Superior Iron Man, and I think some of you are doing it maliciously at this point. But anyway, in the comics, Superior Iron Man does happen to have a similar suit to Captain Marvel's, particularly in the MCU. But that's not only Captain Marvel's energy signature, but when you pull the picture into focus via the 4K images, that's clearly a black woman who looks amazing, by the way. She looks absolutely fantastic. Lashana Lynch supremacy. Wow, what a number of roles she's having. Now, some of you are thinking, hey, maybe it's Monica, not Maria. Monica as Spectrum, or even as Captain Marvel, as Monica did wear that mantle in the comics. But you're not thinking a la What If, right? What would be the simple change to a universe that would make Monica Captain Marvel? There isn't one. Well, again, there is a question, beautiful in its simplicity, for Maria. And remember, Kevin Feige likes to keep it simple. I believe that's the whole reason they did the What If series, to lay the groundwork for not only Doctor Strange 2 cameos, but for this thinking. Now, what complicates things, as always, is Loki. And I'm not talking about Loki the guy, I'm talking about Loki the series, which introduced variants and had them played for the most part by different actors. I think because Loki himself has taken so many forms in the comics already, so that was a way of being comics accurate. Perhaps that's why, though, there are different Loki variants, while for everyone else it seems to be played by the same actor, right? I think that's the rule that's messing us up. We're like, oh, any actor could play a variant, but if you look at Doctor Strange 2, that does not seem to be the case. So far, we've got 2 Doctor Strange variants in Doctor Strange 2, both played by Benedict Cumberbatch, and also voiced, for the most part, if they were available, by the same actors in the What If series. And is this maybe a Wanda variant? That's all I'll say. Also played by Elizabeth Olsen, as you can see. Mordo's variant is the same, as is Professor X's. So that would mean if an alternate Iron Man, a variant Iron Man, were to show up here, he would need to be played by Robert Downey Jr. Also, considering how closely Robert Downey Jr. aligns himself with Iron Man in the MCU, which he did help to build, he was the first, he's the foundation. Why would Kevin Feige stab him in the back by allowing another actor to play that character? Like, just why go there? Yes, we all know that Tom Cruise was originally up for the role of Tony Stark, but based on the rules of the MCU animated series, what if Marvel cast Tom Cruise as Tony Stark instead of Robert Downey Jr. is not a valid question. They don't ask questions outside of the realm of the actual world. So here's a question that does work, though. What if Obadiah Stane did manage to kill Tony Stark in that desert and took over Stark Industries and therefore the Iron Man and ultimately Ultron tech? That works. That works. And the casting of Tom Cruise would be a cute wink to fans who know the casting history. But again, it could be Jeff Bridges, it could be another actor. I just think, again, there is a very strong chance that it's the Iron Monger who is the one who has joined the Illuminati, maybe even started it. In the comics, it was Iron Man's idea to have like a superhero UN. And that's his headquarters, his Ultron enforcers, his tech. Now, why Iron Monger and not Superior Iron Man, right? Some of you might be like, Superior Iron Man is the cooler character. Well, Kevin Feige does love a challenge. He did make the B team the A team, right? The only characters that Marvel had not yet sold to other studios. Well, what would the what if question be for Superior Iron Man? In the Axis crossover event during a battle against Red Skull, who had taken on Professor X's onslaught powers and capabilities, the heroes were losing that battle. So Scarlet Witch, with the help of Doom, why would she take Doom's help? Of course it went wrong. She cast a spell that accidentally flipped the morality of everyone involved in the battle. Heroes became villains, villains became heroes. That's pretty good. Havoc ensued, as one would expect, with Superior Iron Man proving to be a very adept villain. They didn't quite know that that's what had happened at the time, so, Tony Stark went back to his Stark Industries and caused a lot of problems with the extremist tech, etc. Eventually, the spell was reversed, but, long story short, Superior Iron Man used a psi shield to block the spell and remained evil. Of course he did. He's Tony Stark. Again, Marvel has very much created the Superman and Batman, and, because he's Batman, you could kind of easily substitute because he's Iron Man. He actually remained a villain until the second Secret Wars storyline, which combined the 616 and Ultimate comic book universes and basically rebooted Tony Stark in the process. So again, what would the what if question be there? What if someone changed the morality of all the heroes and then only Tony Stark didn't change back? Too complicated, especially since we've never gone there. It just comes too out of nowhere. Also, I think this is a role Robert Downey Jr. would want to play. And he's like, reserved, after he maybe does the whole AI chapter, artificial intelligence chapter of Tony Stark's story. I do believe someday Robert Downey Jr. will be back. I really, what else is he going to do, quite frankly? I mean, Chris Evans has already signed a contract to return in some capacity. So I think Robert Downey Jr. won't be far behind. But they have to give enough time so that his death really means something. And they are doing that. So we'll see who might be playing Obadiah Stane, a.k.a. the Iron Monger in Doctor Strange 2. Is it Tom Cruise? I could see Tom Cruise also making a great Doom, who's rumored, by the way, to be showing up briefly in Black Panther 2. But Obadiah Stane is an interesting character to bring, a variant is an interesting character to bring back into the MCU. All the way from the original movie. I did not like that part of the original film, the very first MCU movie. I guess, I think Iron Man is the first one. I know the Edward Norton Hulk is in there somewhere as well. I think at some point, Kevin Feige will want to do Dark Avengers. Great story. But Norman Osborn is Amy Pascal's toy, and that's just a little bit too complicated. Why have to loop Sony into that, right? So, why not sub in Obadiah Stane? Not only did Norman Osborn take on the Iron Man suit in Dark Avengers and try to take Tony Stark's place in the tech world and in politics, but he was also drawn to look like a movie star. Oh, it's very clever. Tom Cruise's Obadiah Stane would be a fantastic substitute and would allow Kevin Feige to do a Dark Avengers storyline without having to loop in Amy Pascal again. We'll see what happens. All we know for sure is that Maria Rambeau is Captain Marvel, and I'm pretty sure those Ultron drones, I'm pretty sure, are controlled by Obadiah Stane. We'll get our answers soon enough. It's so exciting to play with. I think I'm having a lot of fun. This is as fun as Who's a Skrull, a game we should also be playing later this year. Good times. All right, so share your thoughts and comments down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.